Okay, anything you want to ask me before we start the class? Still got 2 minutes. Probably got a lot of latecomer, or probably they didn't come. You know, last night election, right? Watch until so late. Right? Anything you want to ask or any feedback? Okay, as I say, you know, in Buddhism, a lot of Buddhist terminology, whatever you read the textbook. So it's very important you have a dictionary better. But nowadays, of course, you need to buy the hard copy. Right, instead of hard copy, you can go to Google and search. You just key in, for instance, like Buddha nature, so everything will come out. Okay, so much more convenient if you have a computer. Okay, because once you encounter the Buddhist terminology, Buddhist terms, you couldn't understand, then you will stuck down there. Right, so you might lose the interest or you couldn't understand. Okay. Yes. We because I'm Singaporean. I mean, you know, so they don't care whether you're a monk or whatever. Because as long as your religion is a religion, because you're still Singaporean. So just wear this one to vote. Like last night, yesterday I went to vote the station. So all those are civil servants. You know, government asked them to help. So there's a officer, station officer. I think the girl stared at me and then. Actually, I don't know whether stare at me because I'm a monk or, you know, she saw me, I'm the only one wear the mask. You probably say, hey, COVID-19 over already, what for you wear the mask? So eventually I realized that, sir, I'm the only one, you better take out. Because if you go to down there, you want to verify your IC, or you must take out the mask, make sure you are the real person, seem like IC. It's the same thing. Whether you are Mahayana, Theravada, or whatever, you know, whether you're monk or whatever, you still have to vote. So you look at your face, you are very happy with the result. Okay, anything want to ask? Still got 1 minute. Okay, we already haven't go to the main content. Probably next lecture, I think we can go to the content. And later on to check with you whether, because subsequently you see the textbook, they have an English version for the translation for the original sutra, and subsequently at the latest of behind the textbook, they have a written in the Chinese wording one. So, you know, just for those who are bilingual, you want to learn Chinese or you want to learn English, then I can tell which paragraph, and then so that you don't need to, you know, spend the time to go and figure it out. Now, of course, if I want to do it for you, then you have to do a very quick one. I'm not really want to go read through line by line, but instead of tell which paragraph, you know, from here until when, you know, this for first paragraph or second paragraph or third paragraph. Okay? Now, okay, please stand up. Please hold the palm. 1 palm to the Buddha. First prostration. Second prostration. Third prostration. 1 palm to the Buddha again. Okay, please stay sick. Please stay sick. Okay, as usual, please hold the palm and follow me. Namo观世音菩萨，Namo观世音菩萨，Namo观世音菩萨，Namo观世音菩萨，Namo观世音菩萨，Namo观世音菩萨，Namo观世音菩萨，Namo观
sư Uyên Bồ Sa Nam Mô Quan 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 Sư Uyên Bồ Sa 音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛。OK。Okay, good morning, all brothers and sisters. Okay, please refer to your textbook, page 13. Page 13. Okay, before we start the class, let me remind you, okay, our next lesson will be on 18th of May, as usual, third week of Sunday, first and third week of Sunday. So our next lesson will be on 18th of May. Okay. Now, let's have a quick one to recap what I've told you for the previous lesson. Now, actually, we are explaining the Lotus Sutra. If you are aware of that, for instance, at page 9, you refer to page 9, the heading there, Lotus Flower of a Wonderful, Wondrous Dharma Sutra. So now we are actually in the progress of explaining the wonderful or wondrous Dharma, right? For instance, we also mentioned about, can you see the page 10? We also mentioned about the 10 quality. And subsequently, page 11, we also talk about the causes of the 10 realms, 整个十界, which consists of 6 realms, we talk about 6 cycles, and the other four, for instance, the Patriarchal Buddha, Stravaka, Patriarchal Buddha, Bodhisattva, and Buddha. Right. So these four actually four courses or four rooms is actually catered for the sages. Unlike for the previous, the sixth one, we call it sixth room or sixth cycle, Liu Dao. This actually cater for non-sages, for instance, like human, animal, hungry ghosts, and so forth. And now we can refer to page 13. We start with this paragraph. If you count at the bottom, the second paragraph. Okay, we stop here. So it's almost going to finish the explanation about what is wondrous Dharma. We talk about wondrous because the Dharma, for instance, in Buddhism, talk about the emptiness, or Sanskrit called sunya or sunyata, right? Emptiness. And as you know, this is a profound teaching and very crucial in Buddhism. Emptiness doesn't mean nothingness, right? Perhaps I can use another way to explain to you when I taught at my Buddhist college for those student monks. Now, of course, I told you before, if you put into the mundane word in order for you to understand, emptiness just like detachment, right? Because if you realize emptiness, of course, you are not easily, cling on to the external object, right? But if you look at from the other perspective, this emptiness, Kong in Chinese, right? Kong, and Sanskrit called sunya or sunyata. Now, so this emptiness, as I said earlier, doesn't mean nothingness. Do you have anything in your pocket? Nothing. Not even 1 cent, nothing. 1分都没有 nothing. At least called nothing 嘛，无嘛，好几根无嘛。But of course, you know that emptiness doesn't mean nothingness, right? So it's actually have, but it's subject to the thing is not permanent. Or we can say emptiness refer to the nature of all things are empty, right? If you want to use the Buddhist explanation, of course, nature sing. This is a philosophical term. We cannot see through our naked eye, so it's very difficult to convince people, to explain to people, and people cannot understand. Now, so perhaps you can use from another perspective, take a look on this one, emptiness, will explain emptiness. So there's a term in Buddhism talk about provisional existence. Right, in Chinese called 假有. But if you know Chinese 假, what is 假 Hokkien? 假嘛. Hokkien 你知道不? Now a lot of people speak bilingual, like English and Chinese, but you must know some dialects. You see now the election over already. Teochew, Cantonese, Hokkien, is it appropriate to use a Hokkien? I don't know. Last time in Buddhist lodge, they didn't have Dharma talk in Hokkien one. Hokkien really terrible. But now they don't have it. Now it's many Mandarin or whatever. You hardly see people, when they give a Dharma talk in Hokkien or Teochew. Teochew, of course, you go to Guan Jie Deng probably have, but I still there. There is actually for those Teochew, right? They speak Teochew. Now, this provisional, unreal, you look at the word English, provisional, temporary, it's not forever, it's subject to changes, right? So emptiness, when we say things are empty, is things are unreal, they are not permanent, impermanent, 无常, subject to changes. That's why from the Buddhist point of view, you say these all things are unreal. Unreal. Unreal doesn't mean that nothing. Okay? Unreal doesn't mean it's nothing. So therefore, emptiness is not nothingness. It's just like 假有. In Chinese, 空就是假有. Emptiness is just like provisional existence. Not forever, impermanent, subject to changes. Things are suffering. And impermanent cause suffering. Okay, talk about this example just happened yesterday, January GE 2025. During the same time, the overall percentage performance for the general election, you know how many percent? Of course, today newspaper very late. I also haven't read it. Although I haven't read the newspaper, but I still can ask you because I saw the YouTube. So it's very updated. Okay, during the same time, 5 years back, 2020,
100% they get over the result 60%. It's 61 point something now. Don't care about point something. And now our PM won, and the result is quite good, you know. Actually not bad, no. And now a lot of OP coming out right now, and you got 65%, no, 4% more, no. So impermanent, although impermanent cause suffering, but impermanent gives us hope. Things can be changed. If things stagnant cannot be changed, see liao. 61, 61, 61, long term get 61. So do you want to work hard? Don't need to work hard. I don't work hard, also get 61. I work so hard, also 61. So what is the difference? So they must show some difference. For instance, this is called impermanent, subject to changes. If you don't work so hard, in 5 years time, 2030, how much you will get? Probably 55, then you will collapse already. 10, no more, 10% gone. So these are all impermanent, right? Give you an example, something like that. So therefore, emptiness is just like provisional assistance. They think we exist, but impermanent, not forever, subject to changes. Okay? So when you explain to people, some people like to joke with you, what Buddhism talk about kong, sutta kong, then you need to eat, don't need to sleep. You say you are wrong. But you must be able to explain to them. Okay, back to the textbook. Oh, can you look at the last paragraph? Now, so if you look at our mind, in light of wonders, Dharma, that's why I explained to the wonders, because it's so profound. We talk about emptiness, and these are quite considered as a philosophical view. Right? Philosophy is so profound, right? It's very difficult to understand. You need to analyze something, to investigate something, you know, and philosophy is just explained to a metaphysical kind of question, you know, you'll be able to find out the solution, the answer. That's why in the university, people don't study those elective subjects. They don't want to go study philosophy. Why? Very boring. Right? You study philosophy, you come out, you cannot find a job, just like art. So what they study? Computer science, engineering, AI. Now AI very hot. Right now, you can get a job easily, high pay. Okay, back to here. So as described above, then we can see that the causes that elevate or lower us through the 10 realms, we mentioned it earlier, 世界, 10 realms, originate completely within the ignorance or enlightenment of the mind. And you know, the mind mental is a very important kind of concept in Buddhism. Okay, whatever thing you think, then you put into action. Then in Buddhism talk about 3 wholesome acts. Okay, now physical action, verbal speech, and mental. 身口意, right? We call it 3 wholesome acts. Alright, physical action. 才是个身 verbal speech, right? 口 mental 意. So mental just like computer CPU, no? Central processing unit, no? Because whatever you think, you put into action, then you speak up, right now. So mental control physical action and verbal speech. So when you talk about cultivation, cultivate the Dharma, 修行, is actually cultivating our mind. 修心啊. So mind is very important. So therefore in Buddhism, there's one of the philosophical talk, we talk about Yogacara, mind only school, 唯识, right now. Mind only school, mind only, or mere consciousness, 唯心, 唯识. So Buddhism don't believe in soul. When we talk about soul, there's an ontology, there's a substance there. We talk about ontology, there's a philosophical term. You heard about the word before, right? Ontology. 本体, Chinese, 本体论. But Buddhism don't believe in there's a substance there, real one. Okay? Buddhism talk about consciousness. Consciousness is subject to changes in connection with emptiness, karma. right? 是 consciousness. It's different from, this one we talk about soul, 灵魂, right? So Buddhism don't believe in this one, against the teaching. Okay, so back to here. Now, for nothing is beyond the law of cause and effect, 因果, cause and effect. Only Buddhism, among the religion, only Buddhism talk about cause and effect. So therefore, Buddhism is a science also. 佛教是科学，也是科学. It can be considered as science. But science also talk about cause and effect. Now, I always use the example, water. If you study chemistry before in the secular school, right, you should know the combination, water, H2O. I always use this very simple example. Right? 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. So this is considered cause, 因嘛. Cause, 因. And this is the effect, the result, 果, right? Water. Right? So science talk about cause and effect. And Buddhism also talk about cause and effect. But not other religion. For instance, I give you an example. In Christianity or Catholic, I mean besides Buddhism or Hinduism or whatever, it says God is a creator. 上帝是创造世人. All everything created by God. Then I ask you, then who created God? Then they will tell you, say, you cannot question the God. Then this is the answer. Almighty God. I was in England, somebody calling radio BBC. Then I asked the commentator, talk about God. And then can I ask you a question? Who's created God? Oh. You pause for a few seconds, you don't know how to answer. They will tell you, you cannot question the God. Something like that. So the answer is not convincing, right? So in Buddhism, we didn't say that Buddha, he was a creator. No. We are not created by Buddha. Correct or not? Buddha, he was a discoverer. He discovered the truth. Discover. So therefore, if you discover the truth, you also become Buddha. Correct or not? 如果你 realize the truth, you also become Buddha. Okay? So Buddha is not a creator. So what we believe, where we come from? We believe in karma. Action. In English, 业. Chinese called 业. Gap. So karma is about own things. Nobody can do it for you. Nobody can really help you. Correct or not? Whatever the problem we have is created by ourselves in terms of affliction or whatever problems. Okay? Now, so this is all about cause and effect. So if we can see the world clearly in this way, then we can discover the incredible significance of Avalokitesvara. That means Guan Yin菩萨, Guan Yin Bodhisattva's many manifestations to benefit and help beings. This is actually solely by skillful means. Turn to next page. Described in the Universal Gate Sutra. So in future we will explain the content of the sutra. You will realize that. And gain a greater understanding of the practice of reciting this Bodhisattva name with great devotion. Just how we, before start the class, we recite the Bodhisattva name, right, for 10 minutes. Okay, so move on to the next one. Lotus Sutra. 莲花. Chinese. But this one is in terms of pronunciation. But sometimes you refer to Chinese text, canon or Tripitaka, Chinese. Now this is both can be done. Of course, flower, if you see the English flower is hoa, flower, like this flower, but this, real one. I thought gay. It look like not real one. So I can feel it, touch it. Oh, okay. If it's gay, then can put forever. If the real one, after a few days, boy. Now, so it's a flower, so you use the Chinese word, hoa, of course, correct. But sometimes they use in terms of similar in pronunciation. They use hua, 花. So in Chinese, this one also considered correct in terms of pronunciation, but in terms of meaning, this is wrong, this is correct. Understood? Okay. 妙法 in Chinese. 法华经 okay, the Lotus Sutra, now, because Lotus Sutra is, the use this one Hua is instead of Hua, this is actually by, in terms of pronunciation, they actually is refer to the Dharma, wonder Dharma, Fa Hua. So, just like Lian Hua, lotus, you know. In fact, now we explain this one. Going to explain the lotus flower already. Okay. Okay, can you see the subtitle here? Lotus flower. 法华 可以莲花 lotus flowers. You know the 莲花 there are so many color, no? White color, purple color, pink color. Now if you see those pond, the lotus or there is born from there. I don't know whether here they have a Buddhist law, but very often we see the lotus is which color? Pink color. Pink color. Occasionally you can see the purple color. Okay? But according to the Lotus Sutra, originally the color for the lotus flower is white color, 叫白莲花. So according to Sutra, they refer to white color. White color means pure. That's why the white color. White color means pure, 清净的. Okay? Okay, see how they explain the lotus flower? So the next two characters in the Chinese title of the sutra are 莲花, this in terms of 汉语拼音, 莲花 or lotus flower. So what is significant of the name lotus flower in the title of the sutra? The Sanskrit title of the sutra is, Saddharma Pantarika Sutra. This in Sanskrit. So the second Sanskrit compile is translated as lotus flower. The more precise translation would be white lotus, as I spoke to you just now, right? 白色的白莲花, so white lotus. So the lotus flower functions as a Buddhist symbol in two ways. First, a lotus flower grows in the mud. You know, like how they grow in the mud, 泥土 so it's very dirty one, not clean. So in the mud, but risen above the water. So unsuri, because they are not easily, get contaminated or dirty from the mud or whatever, right? Just like we are living in this, in our present life, we are not easily influenced by the external object. We still put calm through concentrated mind, something like that. You don't easily argue with people. You see things, from in the broader aspect. You know what is emptiness, impermanent, dependent origination. So you're not calculative. So it's different from ordinary people. Right now, human beings are sometimes considered it's very paradox. You don't work, no income. You work, then a lot of politics. My students sometimes she told me, wow, a lot of office thing and whatever. Now, especially for female, more politics. Female, think those, I don't know how they think. You cannot fathom, just like in the ocean, how deep you don't know. So one thing female good, they treat you nicely. Wow, I tell you, you're more comfortable. But if there's something go wrong, then 死无战胜之地. Chinese. They're going to chop to a few pieces. The Singapore North, Sembawang, West Coast, East Coast, Shenton Way. So North, East, South, West, Dong and Sibei, something like that. That's why you see initially Buddha don't allow female to become bhikkhuni. It's because of Ananda to beg Buddha. So therefore Buddha said, okay, I'll compassion. Okay, but in terms of precepts, it must double. For us, me as a monk, bhikkhu, 250 precepts for bhikkhu precepts. For bhikkhuni, female, how many? 500 double. So in comparison, female slightly more problem. Of course, you cannot anyhow see the precepts. Do you know that they don't allow lay people to see the precepts? 在这样不能看戒的嘞. But you see, sometimes very unfair. Equality, justice and equality in Singapore. Justice and equality. But Taiwan, we as a monk, we can see the nun precept now, but the nun cannot see our precept. Wow, so I tell you, if you're not happy, you go feedback to them. I don't know. Very funny, I mean, they're not allowed to see the bhikkhu precept. But tell one thing, although you are not allowed to see, but sometimes you can偷看. Well, you can go to the bookshop and buy one. Nobody's stopping you. You got money, you can buy one. Then at night, nobody. You close the door, on the aircon, just read the whole night. Who know? Why not? There must be a reason behind, why they stopping you. You cannot see the bhikkhu. Because sometimes you say, how come this monk cannot behave properly? Because he break the precept. Then the image is not there. Then you probably lose the kind of respect. Cannot gain the respect. Something like that. And people start to slander 回谤, slander Buddhism, whatever. So something like that. If you ask me, I say not fair. Right? I can see your precept, but I cannot see my precept. So whatever I do, you don't know what I do, whether against the precepts or not. So it's not good for lay people also. So if you know what I do is inappropriate, not according to the precept, then you can remind us sometimes. As long as you don't slander us, the bhikkhu, sangha. Just like in the parliament, they want the OP to come in. Why? Check and balance. So must have a check and balance. 开玩笑, joking. Hey, you say I say one, I'm just a lecturer to teach YouTube. What jialat. YouTube dangerous. Facebook, everybody know. So in the same way, thought rooted in the world, the Dharma is pure. Okay, this is first. Second, a lotus possesses both a bosom and its fruits at the same time. So these are the two. Okay, we jump few more lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines on the right side. So in the same way, according to the Wanderer Dharma, cause and effect are not separate. There are causes within effect and effect within causes. What does it mean? Of course, this is a bit profound. It's just like these two, by skillful means, say 1 + 1 = 2. Alright, so this is in the sequence. But in actual fact, they are considered as one substance, one entity. Okay, cannot be separated. Just like because we are living in the relative world. Correct? We are living in the relative world. 相对的世界嘛. Or we can say we are living in the defiled world. In this defiled world. Right? They say A and B. Now, we are living in this relative world, so automatically we have a differentiated mind because we say this is A, this is B. We perceive this object as A, this is B. So, in our mind, we are thinking that, this is A object, A this object, B. So we thought that, this is fixed, this is A, this is B. So, clearly, we are attached to it. So once we attach to it, then we start to compare because we try to differentiate. This is A, this is B. So therefore, we have a differentiated mind, 分别心. So when we have a differentiated mind, and this is how we cause suffering, because we attach to it. But in Buddhism, talk about middle path, is go beyond that. So this is the relative stage. When we go beyond that, this is in the absolute stage, 绝对的 absolute. And this we call middle path. 中道, neither A nor B, right? Because you treat it as a two different object, different entity, okay? So therefore, we say no, we cannot consider this one is the two different object, okay? So we go beyond that, because only we go beyond that reach the absolute stage, then we will detach, not attach to these two objects, something like that. And this is called middle path. So similarly, when we say, this is a cause and this is an effect. So our mind automatically will think that cause and effect are different things, are two separate things. then we will attach to cause and effect. In fact, this cause and effect is spoken by the Buddha to us, to all sentient beings. But from the sage perspective, from Buddha perspective or Bodhisattva perspective, actually there's no cause and effect to them. Very difficult to understand, no? So because to them, because they are in the absolute stage. Okay, I'll give you another, I don't know whether it's a simple example. For instance, when Buddha spoken the Dharma, his teaching to all sentient beings, it's because for the sake of all sentient beings. Just like because we all have illness, mental illness, not physical, mental illness. So therefore, Buddha taught us his teaching Dharma. And this Dharma, of course, it can be considered as medicine. 药嘛, right? Medicine. So to Buddha, because Buddha very healthy, mentally, physically very healthy. So not like you and me, mentally, physically unhealthy. 身心都有病. You know what I mean? Now, if you mental got problem, it just like come out from IMH. 神经病啦, 神经病, 你知道? So doesn't mean that all you like that. Because most of people, they have this problem. But to Buddha is very healthy. Right? Mental, physically, nothing. For us, we got problem. So therefore, he will tell us, oh, just like Dharma medicine, yeah, these are two, so there's a cause and effect to illustrate, to tell us what is his teaching. But when you reach the ultimate, reach the peak, it's go beyond everything. Yeah? So Dharma is just like medicine. If you are healthy, if you are recovered from your illness, you don't need Dharma anymore. It's just like in the Diamond Sutra, I don't know whether you attended before, the previous one, the Diamond Sutra, 金刚经. There's a Chinese phrase, 法善应舍何况非法. Well, even the Dharma, you also cannot attach to it. Because Dharma just like, it's a method, medicine to cure our illness. So once you recover already, healthy already, you don't need medicine anymore. Why not? So by skillful means, upaya. So even Dharma, we cannot attach to it. Okay? It's just like this one. Okay, that's why I say cause and effect, effect and cause. Actually they are considered as one family, 同一个家庭, under one roof. But in order to explain to us, of course, Buddha tells us, there's a cause, there's an effect. Okay? So, here they say cause and effect. Well, actually they are the same, no different, considered as one entity. So, for example, they give you an example, the ignorance of being, people like you and me, sentient being, within the 9 lower realms, beside Buddha realm, then can be seen as a cause. And the enlightenment of the Buddha realm is an effect, just like this 10 realms, 十界. The previous 9 one is just like ordinary, it's a cause. And when you reach the Buddhahood, become Buddha, right, in the Buddha realm, and this is the effect. Like you and me nowadays, we are studying the Dharma, learning the Dharma, understand the Dharma, and try to practice the Dharma in our daily life in order to generate wisdom, become Buddha. But in the process of doing this is a cause. Until when one day we become Buddha, for instance, and this is a result, effect. So-called cause and effect. So there's a kind of stage, the process we have to go through, because we are all sentient beings. You cannot just one jump, pop, then become Buddha. There's no shortcut one. You must take time. Just like you want to foster the talent. Those talent people are very intelligent one. You need time to, train, go for training. Then before you hand over, something like that. Going on. 接班人嘛, you cannot then come in, then take over. Then how to take over? You must then have a time to learn. So same thing. And this is a process of learning, and this is called cause. Until one day we, reach the kind of Buddhahood, attain Buddhahood, then this is called effect. So cause and effect. Okay. So, however, since each realm contains all 10 realms, and the realms of living being contain the Buddha realm, just as the Buddha realm contains the living realms of living being, just like cause and effect and cause, they are considered as one. Thus, there's no duality between living beings and Buddha. Okay? 佛是众生，众生是佛。I mean, they are considered as one. But in Chinese, according to Master Yin Sun, sentient being is Buddha, correct? Because Buddha is from sentient beings to become Buddha, and this is nothing wrong. But I say Buddha is sentient being is wrong because Chinese called 以病. But this is how we express it. Because in terms of the effect, in terms of the result you get, Buddha is Buddha. Because Buddha is a sage. Sentient being is people like you, ordinary being. Okay, so this is actually whether you put the word in front or behind, so there's a difference. Okay, but of course in mathematics, you say 1 plus 1 equal to 2, 2 equal to 1 plus 1. It depends how you put it. 1加1等于2， 2等于1， it's correct. You get the full mark, right? But to Buddhism is different. 1 plus 1 equal to 2, but 2 is 1 plus 1. Okay, clear? Okay, so this is actually what they want to tell you, two are, there's non-duality. So in Buddhism, talk about non-dual, 不二, right, non-dual. Chinese called 不二. Okay, and this non-duality or 不二 means middle path, 中道. Okay, middle path. Okay, can you refer to page 15? Sutra. Now, this sutra, in Buddhism, there are 3 baskets. You talk about 3 baskets, 三藏. You see, they use the English of basket, basketball. Because Chinese use 藏, right? So, that's a different English and Chinese. Now, so in Buddhism, we talk about 3 baskets. Whatever Buddha was spoken during that time, is they compile it into the 3 main categories. Okay, so they call 3 baskets, 三藏. But of course, this is different from other religions. For instance, in Hinduism, the sacred teaching for them, we call Bhagavad Gita. Correct, my friend? Bhagavad Gita. Last time I learned Sanskrit in England, then it's very painful because the professor wants us to listen to the Bhagavad Gita in cassette or whatever. Then from there you learn Sanskrit, kind of thing. So it's very painful, very difficult. Now, whether Hinduism, the main teaching, the main sacred text, they call Bhagavad Gita. In Christianity, of course, they use Bible, right? But Bible, they go to Old Testament and New Testament. You see, in terms of volume, in terms of quantity, right? In terms of quantity, 1 or 2, Old New Testament. But in Buddhism, we talk about 3 baskets. Okay, 3 baskets. Now, first one we call Sutra. Here they talk about Sutra. Qing. The second one we call Vinaya. Li, rules and regulations, just as precepts. And third, we call Sastra. Lun. English we call treatise. Now, when we talk about Sutra, it's mainly spoken by the Buddha. 佛讲的, okay? And this is called Sutra, right? By Buddha. Vinaya, also by Buddha. Except Sastra, of course, treatise, Lun, is not by the Buddha. It's by the Buddha disciple, or those great philosophers, or those eminent monks, when they give a sermon, the talk, they record it down, and this is called Lun. So therefore, Sastra Lun is not spoken by the Buddha, 不是佛讲的. So therefore, you see, the Sastra is so complicated because a lot of philosophical things inside. So I always tell the student monk, those, my student monk, I say, when you want to come out as become a teacher to deliver a talk or whatever, you don't start from this one. This one, so because it's not spoken by the Buddha, you must be able to justify whether they really follow the Buddha teaching or something like that in terms of concept. So, and you must well train in philosophy, 哲学。Now, sutra will be more easier when starting the time, because sutra, everything you follow the Buddha, spoken by the Buddha. So you won't go wrong unless you anyhow explain. Otherwise, you don't go wrong. You just explain accordingly. Okay? So this is by the Buddha, this one by the Buddha, this is not. So 3 baskets in these 3 main categories. So in Chinese canon, or we call it Tripitaka. Tripitaka, 3 no triple. English called triple, san, so it's Sanjam, Tripitaka. This is in Sanskrit. English we call canon, 藏经, canon. Okay, the Chinese canon consists of 100 volumes. You don't know my Bible teaching 1, 2, Old New Testament, or even Bhagavad Gita 1 only. But in terms of quantity, not quality, in terms of quantity, now this one Chinese canon consists of 100 volumes. 100册, 100 volumes. We have so many problems. Not just 1, 2, thing can be solved. Now, in terms of Theravada teaching, the Pali canon is around 60 copies. But Tibetan Buddhism, Tibetan canon, or we call it Tripitaka, Beijing版, we call it 德格版, consists of 72 volumes. So Buddhism not just worshipping, praying, blessing for 保佑, ask for blessing, not so simple. And if you talk about blessing, can go Taoism, because spiritual power, no problem. But not only stop there, right? Buddhism wants us to have a wisdom. Only wisdom can solve our root of our problem, the root of our problem. 问题的根本 in terms of affliction. Not just spiritual power, 给你变, then something happen. Then of course, spiritual power will get the thing immediately, response. But in terms of cultivation, wow, this one cham. This one have to take time, and also depend whether you know how to do that. You must know the method, everything. And solely by yourself. Spiritual power is seeking for external help. External help very easy. So a lot of people like chanting. Chanting is seeking for the external help. So external help. But study the Dharma is for the own self benefit, your own self effort. Because I cannot do it on your behalf. You have to do it by yourself. Then nobody want to do it by yourself because you don't know how to do it, how to cultivate. So that is the problem. So chanting, a lot of people attending one, but not for Dharma talk, Dharma class. Just to see how many people only. But you needing a lot of people want. So very, very common. Okay, back to here. Now, so sutra is a Sanskrit term that is best translated as concordant, okay, scriptures. Or we sometimes English we use scriptures, 经典, right? Scripture, right? Sanskrit we call sutra, right? Sutra. So in the sense that it describes a scripture which accord with the Buddha teaching, as I mentioned earlier, and also accords with the capacity of living being. The word sutra has also 2 other meanings: to connect together and to support completely. It's just like it's sewing the thread, according to Master Yin Sun. So you sew up, the beads, just like that. 念珠啦, 念经, this is called beads, right? 念珠啦, beads. You know the purpose of the bead, like when you recite the Buddha name, this one to make sure your mind is focused. Then you count. Of course, there are different in terms of number. Got 100, 08, 108, shorter one, something like that. Big and small, something like that. Okay, so this bead just like sutra, sew up, so that they don't break up. Then become the beads again. 念珠, 念珠. So sutra is actually whatever spoken by the Buddha, his teaching, record it down, something like that. And this is called sutra. 经, just like this one, the thread, sew up, all the beeps, something like that. So here, they say to connect together, connect each one together, to support completely. So the first meaning, to connect together, is relevant because all sutras are fundamental consistent in the meaning, While the second meaning, to embrace completely, refers to how the Buddha embraces and liberates all beings and universally, omitting none. So Buddha to benefit everyone, he won't miss out anyone. Okay? He's taking care of everybody, regardless of race, language, or religion. 你都背到标熟了吗 ？Our national anthem. Regardless of race, not because you are different race, whether you're black skin, white skin, or yellow skin, equality, 平等. As our Indian friend know, in India they got 4 caste system, and this 4 caste system still remain until now. Okay, you can ask him, do you think 4 caste system is fair? I don't know. Some people, probably Indian people, they're happy with it. They of course, they have to accept it because no choice. And somebody told me, because they say you are under the lowest caste, and they believe, I think, according to Hindu teaching, they believe, this is a karma, I wish that when I die, pass away, reborn for my next life, future life, will be even better, something. So the willing will accept it. They will accept it. Although now in their present life is so miserable, suffering, but they accept it. Because they are hoping for the future life, hope for future life. Something like that. I don't know whether I'm wrong. I don't know. Because I'm not specialized in Hindu teaching. Okay. So the Chinese translation of the sutra is Qing, classic, right? Classic, 经典的 classic, which was selected to emphasize that the Buddha's teaching do not change over time. So next paragraph, the reasoning behind the title of the sutra, Lotus Flower of the Wondrous Dharma, 妙法莲华经. This is a complete name of Chinese, 妙法莲华经. Of course, if you use a short one, 法华经, 法华经, 3 words only in Chinese. It's well described in the Skillful Means chapter, because in terms of the 29th chapter, one of the chapter, they solely talk about Skillful Means, upaya. So therefore, upaya, Skillful Means, is a very important concept in Mahayana Buddhism. Okay? Because Mahayana talking about great compassion, 大悲, just like 观音菩萨, Bodhisattva, in order to benefit sentient beings, all sentient beings that come from different background. So I have to use a different method the way to, talk to you, how to talk, because different people are different kind of things. You have to use a different method. So all these are skillful means, because in order to benefit sentient, if you say I don't care, I don't want to benefit sentient being, just benefit myself, just as we talk about Theravada Buddhism, I meditate myself, I benefiting myself, I don't care about other people. That's another story. But in terms of benefiting others, 利他, then you need the skill, because skillful means. Okay? Now, so it's well described in the Skillful Means chapter of the Lotus Sutra. Of the Sutra is said, that's why I quote it here in this chapter. Such a teaching is taught by the Tathagata. Tathagata is another name of the Buddha. Chinese called 如来, right? Tathagata, 如来. Okay, Tathagata in Sanskrit. Buddha it has 10 names, right? 10大圣号, different names. Okay, different name, different meaning. You talk about Buddha got 10 names. You also have so many names. Christian name, Dharma name, family name. Wow, at least 2, 3 already. Then even more, right? With your boyfriend, another name. In your house, another name. In the office, another name. Come to Buddhist Lord, another name. So, Ah Hui, Ah Lin, Ah Cao. But of course, I don't believe you use a Dharma name. A lot of people either use an English name or Christian name. I told you before. You know, because you can't help. If you use the Dharma, then you will be isolated. I give you an example. They say 会死，哎呦，也是哦。No auspicious. I say, oh, bad luck, bad luck. I don't want. You know, you say 会死，marry to see 了，cut into see 了。After the class, need to see 了。For instance, quite now. And then you say, your name sounds so funny. How can this Dharma? Can you explain to me something like that? Slowly, you are isolated. For instance, if you are vegetarian, full-time vegetarian, your colleague, they are non-vegetarian. So during lunch, I will say, come on, go to eat satay, char kway teow, they see liao. I cannot eat. I have to stay put by myself or eat in the office. So sooner or later, you will be isolated. Because you're not getting along with your colleague. It's quite quiet. It's got how long? You say, Buddhist like that one. So who dare to come to learn Buddhism? So I give it. I just tell you my opinion. Vegetarian, you must know why. What is the purpose or the meaning of vegetarian? Now, you want to be a vegetarian, mainly two reasons. One is because you want to nurture your compassion. Compassion, no killing. I mean, especially your Mahayanis. Now, of course, you say, I want to be a vegetarian. But having said that, Buddhism, Theravada monk or Tibetan Lama, they are not vegetarian. I'll go for alms begging, you give me char kway teow, bak kut teh, I just take. Right now. So this is not the main issue. Then another reason is because for the healthy purpose, because you are vegetarian, more healthier, 比较健康嘛。That's why I tell one day, you better don't go to vegetarian store, no. So many people tell you, long queue, Why? Because everybody this 2 day, 1 month, 2 day, eat vegetable only ma. So therefore, if you know the purpose of vegetarian, why you want to become vegetarian? So you can eat vegetable anytime. You can Why not? If I were you, I would try to avoid 3 chap go. People will cook nicely for you. There's so many people already. 炒个白切配啊，你个食。你姐姐食个真好食，哇 ！Today the taste different 哦，30個特別好食，是啊，真正好食咯。The additional ingredient there 咯，係咯。And you know what people 30個 ？Strictly speaking, in India we got 30個 one. 30個 is when Buddhism transmitted to China, and the Chinese one, especially of Taoists, they say 1 month within a month, these 2 days only 30個30個。just like those spiritual God, 天神啊 they are patrolling. Patrol 你知冇？嚟個新加坡，食菜，食肉，cross。你說你做嘅人家看嘛？來，食，來，冇啦，食吧。So you do it for the sake of people to see whether you're vegetarian or not. So this is not correct. You know what I mean? I'm not joking, no. This is true, no. So therefore, you just anytime when you have time to eat, you just 吃一餐就一餐的功德 merit 嘛。So you don't attach to it 嘛 ，must be 30個嘛。So it's so those selling the vegetarian food the store 30個even sick still have to cook for you 我呢真正酷compassion 什麼 compassion。People 炒個真正逼切，poor people 就做咧 ，sick people fight for you know what I mean 所以你食個面背足準，一炒個三個一支骨，你聽冇 ？OK。你食個背足準，一炒個一支骨，我記得係咁講咯。所以一些 compassion 很慈悲，有嘴巴慈悲啊，很 compassion。可是 it's true no? Can't you see this a paradox? To me, I don't care no, because I'm full-time vegetarian no. 30個 to me 冇啦沙 nothing wrong one Because every time I'm vegetarian, so I never go to remember. Can this is 30個 I don't know. So you don't ask me 30個no. You ask me today, I also don't care. Because every day I eat one ma, But for you, because now you're young, you can remember no. Now what happen next time你被dementia 老人痴呆症呢？你死了，then you mixed up already， correct no？老人唔是亂了咯。 所以随缘啊，我跟你说，凊彩吃一顿就一顿啊，听不？So this called Tathagata name. At certain rare time, just as the Andubara. You know Andubara flower? Chinese call 无花果幽檀. This is in Sanskrit. Okay? Or Chinese they call it 幽檀花 in Chinese. Appears on rare occasion. Okay, see the video how they explain. Now the Andambara flower or Yu Tang Hua is a Sanskrit name of the legendarily auspicious flower that can be translated as blue lotus flower. Blue. But you see, blue color, sometimes they, especially for those people color blind, if you have a color blind, you know color blind? You can't differentiate the color right. Especially blue and green look similar, no? Do you agree that? Blue and green color. Can't you agree? They look very similar color. Blue or green. Why I say that? You know Nagarjuna, Longshu, very popular. Somebody gave his name called Second Buddha. Now he's proposed Madhyamika, that means the middle path. You know the lineage. Now this is Nagarjuna, Longshu. And this actually they branch out into two subdivisions, right? So different tradition. This Tibetan, Zhanchuan, this Chinese tradition. I know. So when you reach this person, then it's branch out into two subdivisions. And this guy here, Chinese called Qing. And they translated into English, those scholars. You know, Qing, you know, is green color. If you know Chinese, Qing ma, li bin qing ma. You know what I mean? Qing is green color, no? So you translate into English to be green eye, but you color. But you know how they translate? They translate it as blue eye. I mean, there's a scholar, we talk about academic, 学术的, and the scholar translate it as blue eye. And people start to argue, start to do the research, whether it's blue eye or green eye, because for Chinese it's Qing. Qing should be green color. Then how can you translate it as blue color? Then one scholar say, yeah, probably this guy, the translator is color blind. But you sermon. So green and blue, you know, look similar. That's why I tell you, is it green and blue look similar, sister? Do you agree it's similar? Then you put up the argument, then you become another Buddhist scholar. Okay, so the flower does not normally appear in the world. And he said that when a Buddha or real turning monarch, just a king or whatever, appears in the world, the Andambara flowers appear. Wow, I mean this is not a normal flowers. You can see very, very common one. It's not common. It's not common. You hardly see this kind of flower. But when you see it, congratulations. But don't attach to it. Okay? All these are just illusion or whatever. Emptiness. Okay? Emptiness. So in the same way, the Buddha's revelation of the teaching of the Lotus Sutra is like the blossom of the rare and auspicious flower. Just like use this flower to give you kind of like analogy, to tell you this is, is considered very auspicious, 吉祥. It's true, no? Everybody, we sit down here to share the Dharma together and try to understand the Sutra of the Universal Gate or the chapter of the Universal Gate, 普品. And these are due to the good condition. 我们有好的因缘嘛 So we can sit down in the comfort environment with the aircon. Why not? Although it's a Sunday morning, especially after yesterday the election, I know you are very sleepy, but pretend try not to sleep. Yeah, I mean a lot of people like to pretend one ma, correct not? Then after pretending for 1.5 hours, then go for lunch already, no? 1个半小时很紧的嘛 But look at your eye, you really know how to pretend. Oh, you are Arahat. 4th fusion in the higher stage already. One more stage, you will become Bodhisattva. And one more step, congratulations. Big congratulations. You become, like me, Buddha. Okay, turn to the next page. Now, so who is the main actor or actress? Guan Yin Pusa. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva means Pusa, enlightened being. So now they try to explain to you. The name Avalokitesvara is made up of 3 major components in Sanskrit. Arya, right? Arya and honorific, commonly translated as normal. Chinese means 高贵 normal, 非常高贵 right? Normal. Avalokita, to contemplate or observe. 观, right? To contemplate or observe. Okay? Contemplate, translated called 观照. 观照 if you use your brain, your mind to contemplate the Dharma. Observe, you have to use your eye to observe, not use your brain to observe. Use your eye to observe. 观察. So some people very good in observation, right? See how people behave. You know that all these are consider kind of our kind of bad things. We try to do the good things, something like that. You try not to behave in this model. So you're very observant. See how people do. So this is also good. And like Guan Yin Pusa, you observe everybody. Oh, if you got problem, you call my name. I come quickly and come and help you. And you may want to argue. Hey, how about those medium 跳档? Also 跳观音啊? Do you think that the one is a real Guan Yin? I don't know. You have to ask her. If the medium Guan Yin tells say, you, 18th of May, come for the Pung Ping talk. It's a Guan Yin already. Because related. If you say no, you go and show Kim Zua, show Gun Zua, I don't know. I know. You know those spirits, they attach to the body, 跳档. Actually, you don't know who one, because it's up to them to say, who am I? 我是谁? 我是谁? Correct not? And they not just attach to one body only, the body approach to the one, because they approach to different medium, 跳档, different people, and those can tell same God, For instance, like 莲花三太子, 有听到不? 金嘴莲花三太子呢? You know what I mean? Not just attached to the body A only, Because why? Because they got spiritual power. They can manifest in different form of body. But in Buddhism, talk about good spirit, and we can be considered as Dharma protector, 护法神, because they support Buddhism. If those people try to harm you, to tell you to do the bad thing, like 拱桃, 拱桃, then they want the evil spirit, 不好的咯. 神有2种 One is good spirit, one is evil spirit. Yeah? They're always fighting? I don't know. You ask them. Because they fight or don't fight also. But of course, according to Buddhism, if you're taking refuge in the Triple Gem, 皈依 just a baptized city as a Christian or Catholic. Of course, we have to 皈依 and consider as a Buddhist. But according to Buddhism, if you 皈依, taking refuge in the Triple Gem, become Buddhist, there are 36 Dharma protectors will protect you. So those 36 Dharma protectors, 36个护法神, that one, that one is a good one because they protect you. Sometimes you don't know. They are doctor go, something like that. Or you come for the class, everything so smooth, some people taking for granted. Wow, do they know traffic jam? Because sleeping, because after election. So that's why everything smooth. For instance, you find that your life so smooth, 60吉祥 everything so smooth, then good lor. If you say, "Ayah, encounter so many problems, then this is karma or whatever, I don't know." Okay, so this is called observe. Isvara meaning mastery, okay, or flexibility when taken as an adjective, lord or master when taken as a noun. Okay. So the name of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva has been translated from the Sanskrit in various ways. Kumarajiva. Who is Kumarajiva? Please take a look here. Kumarajiva is one of the very important translators in Buddhism. He was translated so many important sutras, especially for the Mahayana Buddhism. Like Diamond Sutra, we also adopt, his translation. Now this Kumarajiva, who just like here, is very important because he's highly influenced by Nagarjuna in India. So when it comes to Chinese Buddhism, Chinese tradition, he was a founder of Chinese tradition in terms of Madhyamika. Okay, so here Kumarajiva all the way passed down to Chang in China. Okay, so this is called Kumarajiva. Kumarajiva was a Buddhist monk, scholar, missionary, and translator. I told you, translator. So a lot of very important sutra in Maya Buddhism was translated by him. So it's a very important figure. Okay, translated from the kingdom of Kucha. Presently now we call Xinjiang. I don't know whether you visited Xinjiang. A lot of people like to go China for tour. But Xinjiang, I went there once. It's mainly for they are, I think mostly are Muslim. Xinjiang 回教的嘛 Muslim. And in China very sensitive, very particular about Xinjiang, because Xinjiang in China, in the West, they always fight for independence. Okay, they always fight for independence. Then how can speed up the China, mainland China? So very sensitive. Xinjiang, China, Kumarajiva is seen as one of the greatest translators of Chinese Buddhism. So Kumarajiva also introduced the Madhyamika. I told you the Madhyamika school, Zhongguan. And this is one of the very important three different systems of thought, philosophy taught in Mahayana Buddhism. Zhongguan, Yogacara, Wei Shi, and Tathagata Lu Lai Zhang, storehouse, right? So Kumarajiva also introduced Madhyamika school of Buddhist philosophy into China, which, as I told you, Chinese tradition, he's the first one. So he was the founder of Chinese tradition in Madhyamika school. So, into China, which would later be called Sanlun. I don't know whether you know about Sanlun. This is one of the 8 schools in Chinese Buddhism, 中国八大宗. And this is to be considered the first school in Chinese Buddhism. In Indian Buddhism, there consists of 18 sub-schools, 20, 500, whatever, so many. But in China, they classified it into 8 schools. And this is the first one called Sanlun, which consists of 3 treatises. The treatise of middle treatise, 中论, 百论, 100 treatise, and 12门论, the 12 gates of the treatise. But this 12 gates of the treatise is solely written by his chief disciple Aradeva. Unlike the other 2 is actually by Nagarjuna. Okay? So this is called Sanlun, the 3 treatise school. Do you know that? You don't know, unless you know the history. But don't know, you pretend to know, so I can move forward. This is called life. We cannot just stand here. Like yesterday, over already. You like it or don't like it, move forward, because you are united as one Singapore, regardless of. You are absolutely right. Later can go for Bak Kut Teh. Hey, they got vegetarian Bak Kut Teh, no? You know that? Yeah. Hey, but tell one thing, the vegetarian bo pian outside. You hardly find the bo pian outside, no? You know why? Recently I found one, but they don't put the vegetable one, they put the bangguan. The bangguan is easier to make, bo pian. But you hardly can find outside one. I believe Buddhist Lodge have or not? Spring roll they have. Spring roll they just fried. Fried one called spring roll chun juan. Different, Popiah is with the skin, you wrap up with all those things, sweet sauce, chili, bean sprout, tauge, and kind of unless you make yourself. Now you outside eat one is pangguan. Pangguan is very easy to cook one, man. You know. So you hardly can find one. Even here also don't have. In Singapore temple, not all the temple have, you know. But definitely Kuan have. They have a store, no? I saw Popiah. One Popiah, 2 or 250, it's expensive, no? 2塊半呢? Okay, no? Price okay, no? Go and eat, no? Sunday only, You taken before, huh? How's Popiah? Wow, thank you for promotion. But nothing to do with me. But, you know, I don't know, Kuan sell one probably is pangguan. Is it got vegetable, gaoli cai, all these things? Have, Wow, let me this is a real Popiah one, you know. So they sell 250, okay, well, reasonable. You know. I thought only cater for us, we monks down there, teaching that we eat is real vegetable one, you know. 不错. Then I thought they sell outside is pangguan, pangguan is it's real one, I don't. Oh, good. Go and try, no? Okay, so this is called Kumarajiva. You must know this very important figure here. Okay, back to the textbook. So Kumarajiva translated as Guan Yin, Guan Shi Yin. Now you see already say Guan Shi Yin is actually translated by Kumarajiva because different translators they translated into different name. Meaning observing the sounds of the world. If you know the Chinese, 观世间的音声 observing the sounds, you know, of the world. Just like anybody say, help, 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 please help me. 观音都来了 something like that. So, you know, if you encounter certain thing in the very dangerous one, then if you are reciting his name, very focused, out of sincerity, then 观音菩萨 may come. And moreover, you come here for this talk, probably priority will given to you. But actually no lah. To Guan Yin Pusa is equality. You know, there's no priority one, VIP or whatever. You know, 隆重嘅修想. So, you know, observing the sounds of the world, predating Kumarajiva. So Dhammarasa, Chinese called 度法父. Again, this is another translator. Of course, you never heard it before. But unless you can read the Chinese canon, you sometimes may see his name appear in the sutra. Chinese called 度法父. You want to know Chinese? Okay. So Dhammarasa, translated as 光是因. You know, the 光 they use a 光线的光, not observing the 光, so different. Sound similar, but different Chinese word. You know, so different translator they translate into different kind of word, meaning bringing light to the sound of the world. Bringing light. Light means hope. Light means 光 means hope, or refers to wisdom. Bring wisdom, bring hope. When you call the Guan Yin Pusa, please come and help me. If you give us hope, you give you wisdom. But of course, they will help you to how to generate wisdom. Okay? So by Xuan Zhang, you know Xuan Zhang, 西天取经, he went to India to collect all those sutras because I'm happy with the sutra what he read. He said insufficient, he's not happy. Then he went to, of course you see the 西游记, they illustrate the what monkey god 齐天大圣 but in actual, according to Buddhism, there's no 孙悟空 one. You only can see 玄奘 is correct. 猪八戒嘛没嘞. Now once the Chinese people when they translate into Chinese, they add in 添油加醋 they add in 猪八戒啦, 沙悟净 then monkey god 齐天大圣. All these are not. They only mention 玄奘大师. They went there. All these monkey god, 有人跳 monkey god 嘛 monkey god, all these are helping him to assist him because he went to India last time. No aeroplane, riding horse, or you walk yourself, and you walk in the desert, and you can't see, then no water, sometimes your life in danger, So a lot of time, Guan Yin菩萨help 玄奘法师. Then also, then because of 玄奘, Master 玄奘, go there to collect so many sutra, back to China, translated to Chinese, so that we can read. So must thank to 玄奘法师. Okay? Now you read the sutra, take things for granted. 10塊買到無聊$10, $20. But where the sutra come from? Last time. This is how he went there and suffered a lot. Right? Even caused a life in danger. Okay, so he said 觀世音 meaning bringing light to the sounds of the world. By 玄奘 time is translated as 觀自在. You see the Heart Sutra, 心經. 觀自在菩薩，看到有會念心經啊 ，starting 跟你講觀自在嘛 ，that one is referred to 觀世音 ，but it's a different name. But this name is translated by 玄 玄奘。觀自在 ，you know 觀世音菩薩有32 marks 啊，32項嘛 ，something like that. And one of them is一翹卡嘛 ，that's how it's late. That one 就 very freedom 很自在嘛，這叫觀自在菩薩。看到這裡念觀自在another Bodhisattva, then you're wrong. 怪不得觀音菩薩沒來咯，because you treat him another Bodhisattva. 看到你說小香觀世音菩薩 ，even you don't 念觀自在菩薩，you 念觀音菩薩 ，can or not? Same, it's the same, can be done. 觀音菩薩來了，看到 ，so 觀自在 this by 玄奘 ，meaning observing at ease, 很自在嘛 at ease. With translation is, which translation is correct? I will ask you, then depend. So 玄奘 translation correspond very closely to Sanskrit. So by right should be 觀自在 if you based on Sanskrit. So 你念心經觀自在菩薩 it's very close to Sanskrit one. But in the normal time, you say 觀音菩薩 wow. 觀音菩薩 sure no one because you see Buddha got 10 names. 觀音菩薩you can hear already 3 already, different word. Right? They pronounce same pronunciation but in different Chinese word. But it's okay. Right? We cannot attach to the wording. So no problem. So his translation of observing at ease correspond to both the nominal and the verbal meaning of the isvara. According to just now we see the above one, flexibility, or then the meaning. And is thus more correct. This is more correct. That's why you're wondering, 觀自在菩薩 is a different Buddha, name of the Buddha, but it's the same. But how can they use this one? So now we know already. Right? It's translated by Master 玄奘. Right? They tell you, right? 觀世音, 觀自在. Here they tell you the 3 different translations by 3 different persons. One is what? Kumalajiva. One is the Dhammarasa. One is 玄奘. Why not? So at least you know already. You come here to attend the talk, but at least you learn something. Then people, 你觀自在菩薩，你說師兄你知道什麼嗎？不知道then you can tell him already 咯。為什麼你知道？Welcome for the talk. 你個attract them to come, and this is how you promote Buddhism. I told you already. You know church how they attract them to go to a church for the Bible talk. They put the banner, right? 上帝愛世人。信神得救，哇！這不是奇咯。So for you, you also can by skillful means, you put even bigger banner. 佛陀愛你，佛陀會救你，來咯，快咯！但是沒有人這樣做，那就這個淡薄小小的，知道嗎？ So that's why 玄奘 state in his biography that the old translation of 觀世音 and 觀世音 are both incorrect. According to 玄奘, they say, this one, because it's written in Sanskrit, so he's more close to Sanskrit. So 觀自在 is correct. But of course now you don't change that because you chant for so long already. 對不對? Because you always focus on 觀音菩薩, 現在 now ask you to change to 觀自在, see, because you lost concentration away. So if you chant 觀世音菩薩, 就觀世音咯, you just continue, no problem. Right? 觀世音菩薩, not because you know different name, then you won't bless you. Okay, next paragraph. I'm going to thumbs out. Now, however, does this really mean that Kumalajiva translation is a mistake, or Kumalajiva star translation is a paraphrase, the meaning of the sutra, rather than offer a literal translation? If we look at the vow or Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva as described by Shakyamuni Buddha in the sutra, you can see that Kumalajiva is not mistaken. So it doesn't mean that this is wrong. Okay, then we must find out why he says so. Okay, look at the page 17. The quote here. The Buddha answered, Asayamati. You know this Asayamati, the Sanskrit Bodhisattva, translated called Wu Jing Yi Pusa. You chant the sutra, Wu Jing Yi Pusa. Next time we explain the sutra, we know this Bodhisattva. He always appear very often in the chapter Pumpi. If you chant Pumpi, you will ever came across or this Wu Jing Yi Pusa, and this Sanskrit called Asayamati Bodhisattva is a good man. If there were countless hundreds of millions or billions of living beings experiencing all manner of suffering, who hear of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva and call his name with a single-minded effort. You see, they stress this on single-minded effort. 一心称名 That means your mind is so focused not scattered Not think about east and west. You're very focused. Alright? In other words, have a concentrated mind, very focused. Only Guan Yin Pusa, nothing else. And call his name with single-minded effort. Then Guan Yin Pusa will instantly observe the sound of the cries and they will be liberated. Because if you're so focused, Guan Yin Pusa 听得到吗? He heard it. Why? Because same frequency, AM and AM, FM and FM, 听有了. You have different frequency, 观音两个嘴破去 soft throat, you never get the best from 观音菩萨 because different frequency. It must be same frequency. Frequency simply in terms of single-minded effort. So now we know that 两观音有保庇或两观音无保庇. This is the clear cut the difference between the two. Okay? But you didn't tell me, say, 我去4尾路保庇来，知道无保庇，你假了了。This is a Buddhist temple now. You know 4尾路 Waterloo Street. They also 拜观音 right? They got monkey god also. That one is not Buddhist temple, no? It's not Buddhism, you know. They are 先天道. You know 先天道? 一贯道. You know 一贯道? You're so pure, you don't know what is 一贯道. A combination of 5 religions, 五教合一, and they stress a lot of vegetarian. You must be vegetarian, but of course, the vegetarian can eat it lah. So another name for them is called 鸭蛋教, 吃鸭能啊, 鸭蛋教的也是吃龟能嘛. But you must thank and appreciate because all the hawker centers selling vegetarian food 9 out of 10 or 11 out of 10 they are all 一贯道 because they focus on vegetarian. So they must be cooked very nice food so they can attract their people, supporter to eat, you know. So when they open the store, they will never close shop, hardly close shop, no. Not for Buddhists open the shop, today open, tomorrow close already. 佛教徒都不重吃的嘛，所以他们煮的这么好吃 you know, those are 一贯道 one, you know. You go outside and eat those cafe or whatever, sometimes 一贯道. Mostly they are 一贯道. Because they focus on vegetarian food. They must be vegetarian. 一定要吃常素. If you go to, you know, last time I don't know last time I came here when I was young, small. They say, 师兄走啊，吃饱了去大巴药 whatever. 那边也是拜佛的. Then I went there. Last time they do it very secretly because it's not legal one. Illegal. Last time illegal. You see a lot of slipper shoe outside. They close out the window. Very secret one, you know. They close out the window, and the moment you step into the house, you see one statue, Maitreya, smiling Buddha. 那个弥勒佛 big stomach one， you know， 啊，你录了，呀 ，Buddhist 啊 ，is Buddhism because 个佛像嘛呀。And then the preacher they call 点传师嘛 ，they wear something like me like that, but it's a blue color. Then the hair not so short, not really bald hair, can see some hair one, you know. 他们叫点传师 ，you know very easy one, you know. You just pay $10. They say you pay $10, you write your name and burn. Then next time can go to heaven. It's true. This is what they say. They say 你换10块钱，天堂挂号，地狱除名 ，you know. That means definitely you can go to the heaven. There's no chance you can go to the hell. 哇，你来買10塊你嚟騙咁咪騙咧 ？So cheap, $10 I can go to heaven. Here you listen forever. Also cannot go to Pure Land. So that's very difficult to go to Pure Land. Correct now. You do know to cultivate Dharma some more. So 你看 so attractive, you know. $10 only. So, brother, sister, next time I can tell people, you come for a talk, I will ensure you just only pay discount $5 only. So, after 3 months, you know the Dharma, then even you cannot go to Pure Land, then you can go to the heaven, at least minimum. Joking. Okay, so this Kumarajoa. Next paragraph, time's out already. So, okay, esoteric school, next time I will explain to you because time's out already. Okay? Anything want to ask? Yeah? Tibetan Buddhism? No. This Zhangchuan Tibetan Buddhism. We call it esoteric Buddhism, esoteric school, 密宗. Okay? Their main focus is on mantra, 咒语, 念咒, 你知道不? Mani Padme Hum, because six syllables. Their focus is on 咒语. Because 咒语 is actually no specific meaning because have a direct password or code word, direct link to the Buddha or Bodhisattva. This is what they believe. Next time I explain to you. Okay? Okay, if not, shall we do the dedication? 卖照啊 dedication. 回向. Okay, please hold the palm and follow me. May all the merits thus accumulated be dedicated to all sentient beings. May all sentient beings and I together do Buddhahood. Wait. Okay, please stand up. Please hold the palm. One bow to the Buddha. Okay, see you. Enjoy lunch. Okay, enjoy lunch.